Selena Quintanilla Perez. The story that still brings pain 23 years after she was murdered. A sex symbol and a superstar. Of course, she did have a troubled life, and it's reasonable enough why her death made such a boom culturally, but her unforgettable music lives on. Her tribute albums and concerts only add to the sensational sense of style commemorated in limited edition, which her representatives sell, only to keep this American Mexican remain as a Kardashian of her age. Hi guys, and welcome to another video of Historically. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Selena Quintanilla Perez's life, the tragic ending to a star. She is both of Mexican and American origin, born in 1971, April 16th, Lake Jackson, Texas. Even though her death came at 23 years old, her life and death still continue to make big booms in headlines and attract attention. Not only her unforgettable music is what keeps breathing life, but also her style, which is being sold in limited edition merchandise and keeps her boutiques up. Her image is reproduced in what we wear each day, and she is nearly the face of Barbie dolls. So Selena lives on as an icon of multiculturalism, inspiring fans all across the world because of her Mexican and American origin. Thanks to Netflix releasing Selena, it's a biopic series produced by members of Selena's family and acquaintances. It takes interest of how the late singer lived and died, and it did spike a lot of interest. The true story behind her death is unmitigated by tragedy, with a talented young star cut down to such a young age. We have a superstar on her own who is paving the way of what Selena could have been. Our own little Hannah Montana group girl, Christian Serratos, is the one that will bring her life to a story. Is going to dwell on the months before her death, when she was at the peak of her career. Right when she moved markets, from the Mexican one to the English one, which followed along with 4 studio albums and a Grammy for Best Mexican American Album. She had been immortalized to her name. Now let me paint a picture in your guys' head why she was breaking taboos in the music industry. She was to become the long-awaited American Mexican that had finally crossed the line to the international market of music. Dreaming of You is her first English language album that would only go to break records, helping Selena ETC, which was her company that sold across Texas in her in-house boutiques. Her boutiques had a definite inflation in their sales. She sold a line of clothing and jewelry. There was 2 existing Selena ETC collections, one in Corpus Christi and one in San Antonio, which were managed by her right hand, the 32-year-old Yolanda Salivar, who is the president of the Selena fan club and her trusted confidante. Selena appointed her at a time when she believed that Saldivar was the right person for this, a manager. The biographer who wrote Selena, Como la Flor, Joe Patosky, says that that's when things started to unravel. Saldivar became addicted to the idea of Selena, which in my opinion is what pushed her to start and personify her. She was using the corporate American Express card that was given to her by Selena to rent Lincoln Town cars, and she had entertained the business associates using the cards, and she bought 2 personal phones. Someone close to Selena, Martin Gomez, in a way warned her about Saldivar. He said that she was dangerous, two-faced, and unstable, and more employees came forward to go on with this claim. Even Abraham Quintanilla Jr. warned his daughter that Saldivar can be considered as dangerous. In early March 1995, Selena and the family were informed by boutique employees that Saldivar had stolen over $60,000. Selena decided to confront her along with her father and sister, but Saldivar denied any wrongdoings, claiming that she had the possession of documents that would and could release her from this accusation. Selena had confided to her sister that she was planning to get rid of Saldivar soon. This brings us to March 30th, 1995, when Saldivar called Selena to inform her that she was living at a Days Inn motel near Corpus Christi International Airport, where she was waiting for Selena to come and visit her in order to clear her name by claiming the infamed documents. She was also instructed to come alone, which plays at the evilness that Saldivar possessed. She knew what she was getting into this, with full intent proceeded to execute her crime. Selena had arrived to the motel, and upon her arrival at 11:48 a.m., Saldivar withdrew her .38 caliber handgun, firing into Selena's right shoulder, which was not critical enough for Selena to flee from the scene. And she ran to the hotel lobby, shot, screaming for help, and had Saldivar pursuing her behind. Due to blood loss, Selena had collapsed unconscious on the motel lobby. But right before her fall, she managed to utter something that indicated who was her attacker. She named Saldivar. And Saldivar was found locked in her pickup truck in total disbelief that she just shot and killed her best friend, which is why she kept crying out to the police officers when they arrived on the scene. Selena was rushed to the Memorial Medical Center, where the doctors had found out that her brain is clinically dead upon arrival. After an hour of failed attempts to bring her back to life, she was pronounced deceased. The Tejano singer Selena had a mother, Selena Quintanilla, a husband, Chris Perez, and her sister Suzette, who laid roses atop her casket at a funeral. Saldivar pleaded not guilty to the crime, saying that it was accidental, but the jury thankfully convicted her of first-degree murder. She received the maximum penalty, life in prison. No potential parole until March 2025. She spends her day at the Mountain View unit in Gatesville, Texas, 23 hours a day, isolated in her 9x6 cell. She's held in order to protect her from death threats that are sent to her by Selena fans. Selena's murder had a huge impact throughout the Tejano community. It was devastating, her legions of fans in the United States and Mexico alike. Major US television networks interrupted their program to break up the news. Texas newspapers sold out in numbers. She was breaking news, and it hit the people in a rather tragic way. More than 50,000 mourners walked along her as she was being buried in Corpus Christi's Bayfront Plaza Convention Center. People traveling as far as California and Mexico to honor the fallen singer. On April 12, 1995, even George W. Bush, who was only a Texas governor at the time, declared her birthday as Selena Day in the state of Texas, which is a really sweet way to honor her. And they're even trying to pass a bill for her day in a federal instance. "25 years later, the Quintanilla family keeps her legacy alive. Her sister manages Q Productions, an entertainment company and studio where once Selena recorded herself. In 2012, Perez, who since then has remarried, he released a memoir to remember and honor Selena's life. We celebrate her life with this video. And we suggest you to watch the Netflix series, where you can find out more about her life.